Fort Wayne, Indiana is the fastest growing city in the Midwest. But is that a good thing?
I keep it real, I keep it real, I keep it real, just keep it real.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Sam Hartman, keeping it real estate here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And as always, I want to help bring some context and clarity to the real estate world so that you can be confident consumers. And just recently, the US Census put out some data showing that Fort Wayne, Indiana is the 83rd largest city in the United States, and they are the fastest growing city in the Midwest. So let's look at the numbers. Fort Wayne's population ticks in at just under 270,000 people, and we have seen a population growth from 2022 to 23, and we've seen a population growth of 0.72% over the last year and 2.12% since 2020. I always talk to people about real estate and about the housing market, especially with the recency bias that consumers have for the housing crash of 2008. And that recency bias always puts a shadow of doubt, always puts a question mark in consumers' minds. Is it gonna happen again? Is now a good time to buy a home? Am I making a financial mistake in today's market to be purchasing a home? And my advice is always this: look out your front door. What's happening in your community? Is your community gaining residents or are they losing residents? What we see here, Fort Wayne is gaining residents at a quicker pace than anywhere else in the Midwest. That is a phenomenal sign. You know, I always say, look at employers, look at jobs. Are jobs coming to your city or are they leaving? And lastly, what is your city investing in itself? Or are they pulling spending back? Are they restricting budgets? And, you know, shout out to the late great Mayor Tom Henry, who I think did a phenomenal job setting Fort Wayne up for this growth and success. He was such a strong proponent of investing in the city to bring great world-class amenities to our residents. But is a growing population a good thing for Fort Wayne? And some might argue that it's not. Now, I hate living in comment sections. It's some of the most negative places you can go. But when I started seeing articles like this coming out, I had to see what the community was saying about what I think is really great positive headlines. And you don't have to go very far into comment sections to start seeing the negativity, to start seeing people complaining about affordable housing, to see people complaining about wages in our community, to see a lot of those negative comments. And my thought is, you can't have it all. If you want more affordable housing, well, guess what? That means our market is going to be shrinking. That means there's going to be less jobs. That means there's going to be less employers. That means pay is probably going to come down as well. So do you want to see the economic growth and the continued flourishing of our city, which will hopefully continue to rise those wages, bring more jobs to our community? Or are you just looking out for yourself and wanting a lower price rent, a lower priced house? Obviously, we all want lower mortgage rates, but I think that the negativity and the concern there is really misplaced. To be negative about the growth of your city just doesn't make sense. I think it's absolutely phenomenal news. I think Fort Wayne has the land to continue to develop and support community growth. And housing across the entire country is in a shortage of supply. If we look over the last decade, home builders just didn't build homes and supply homes into the market at a rate that they were prior to the housing crash of 2008. And so that is putting us into a supply shortage, as well as other reasons like home sellers not selling because they have low interest rates and things like that. So there are challenges there to the housing market, to affordability, to the inventory and supply and availability of homes. But I would rather our community to be continue being pushed forward with its growth and development, putting us into those kind of challenges to figure out, okay, what are we doing now to develop affordable housing? What are we doing now to support that lower quartile of our residents in terms of income and in terms of equality and in terms of, right to living wages and things like that? But I would rather have those problems as opposed to the problems of having a shrinking community, a shrinking economy, a community that's not investing in itself. And thank goodness that's not the case we find ourselves in today. Fort Wayne is growing. Fort Wayne is thriving. Congratulations, Fort Wayne, on being the fastest growing city in the Midwest. Thanks for keeping it real estate with me today, guys. And as always, if I can help answer your questions and your concerns about the housing market, make sure you reach out.
I keep it real, just keep it real.